Visit BestBuyMetalRoofing.com.
It's time for The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees. We will bring you nonstop sports news from the national and local scene and everything in between. So buckle up and join in on the conversation. It's The Drive.
Don't take no style. Got a thirst for killing. Drink your body. Woo!
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. It is Tuesday, October 28th, and we're going to do a little bit of a carryover show from yesterday just because we had so much to talk about with mainly the coaching carousel in college football, which is crazy that we're sitting here. What is it, Jim, like week 9 now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're sitting in week 9.
Well, it's actually week 10, but most teams have played 8 or 7, 8, 9 games. It depends on that. But, I mean, if you include week 0, which we shouldn't.
Yeah, which is always confusing.
Yeah.
But we're sitting here talking about open, vacant coaching positions, head coaching positions. And this is a conversation that we usually kind of saved for the offseason once, ADs, and now we're seeing like GMs pretty much in charge of football programs and ADs kind of getting pushed to the side. You deal with the rest of the sports. It's such a unique time in college football. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but we're also, I think we should lead off, pun intended, with some Major League Baseball, because we were talking about it here in the studio before we went on air today. And what an unbelievable game last night. Game 3 of the World Series, an epic game. That's the best word I can think of to describe that game. The Dodgers outlasted the Blue Jays in 18 marathon innings and tied for the longest World Series game ever, which I know you guys got some tidbits you want to throw out on that.
Yeah.
And Freddie Freeman, it makes me cringe to say it, hits the walk-off home run to give L.A. a 6-5 win. The Dodgers now lead 2-1 over the Blue Jays in the World Series. And the starters in the game were Max Scherzer for Toronto and Tyler Glasnow for the Dodgers in a game that ended up seeing 19 pitchers, 19 arms on the mound. So those guys were forgot about very quickly after about 4 innings.
And you had guys that were pitching extended innings last night that aren't used to it, but they had to because you'd already gone through so many of your normal rotation of pitchers and whatnot. Nobody anticipates an extra inning game going 18 innings. Oh, yeah, 10, 12 sometimes. That's about the max you ever see. 18 innings. Everything's like up in the air. You're like, guys, next man up. Who's going to do something for us? They had what's his name, the starter in game 2 warming up in the bullpen.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, but it's just, but you have to. It's the World Series, man. This ain't the All-Star game where we're going to stop it and have a tie. Somebody's going to win the game.
And it provided an opportunity for us fans of the game. As much as I'm a Dodger hater, I thought it was so cool to see Clayton Kershaw roll out there in a big World Series situation, probably for the final time in his career.
Probably.
Didn't sound like he was going to be – they had a plan for him in this World Series except just to get him an appearance and hopefully a game that they were blowing Toronto out. He came in a high-leverage situation last night, 2 on, 2 outs, and got a huge out, and those fans at Dodger Stadium erupted for him. For Clayton Kershaw, so happy that he had that moment, and he showed, listen, he's still got the stuff.
Yeah,
he's calling it a career. He's retiring. He's announced all that. But I was so thankful to see that moment. That was in the 12th inning, by the way, which, by the time you get to that 18th inning, that seemed like 2 games ago.
Yeah, I like it for him because, like, the one criticism about him was when the big lights came on, he wasn't very good.
Right.
But that's the one thing. Like, he's a Hall of Famer. Like, but people, that was the one thing that kind of followed his name, and now you're going to look at his career and think the last big moment that he had was in the 12th inning where he got a shutout when he needed to.
A pivotal game that, it's tied 1-1. If Toronto wins, they're up 2-1. So, it was a clutch. It was a clutch situation. I was glad to see him have some success.
And talking clutch, going back to Freddie Freeman, I hate to say this, but between last year, the big home run that he had to win, I believe it was Game 3 also in the World Series last year, and then this year again, like he's going to be remembered as a Dodger. Listen, phenomenal career, MVP in his time in Atlanta. But people are calling him Mr. World Series now. And he had an okay World Series with the Braves in 21. Like, it was a solid, a couple games he struggled a little bit, but he didn't, carry the Braves. He's carrying this Dodgers team. He really is.
Ohtani's carrying this team.
Well, Ohtani, 2 home runs and pitching. You're right. You're right on that.
Well, can I just be honest with y'all? It's a superstar team.
It is. They're solid at
4
every position.
MVPs.
Like each guy has a moment in this World Series where you're like, that was an all-star. Not every team has that, and that's where the conversation with this whole salary cap will come into play, because quite literally they're hosting the majority of the best players in our league right now.
I mean, I fully expect Mookie Betts to have one of those games. He hadn't had it yet, but he's a former
He's
MVP.
been quiet.
So they're loaded.
So
That's a loaded
think
roster.
about that. Mookie Betts is on that roster, and
He's forgotten.
He's a role player.
He's a role player there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's wild.
But the versatility of him to go from the outfield to shortstop,
Yep.
and wherever they need him, he's such a ball player from the state of Tennessee, by the way.
Hey, do you know his secret talent is bowling?
Yeah, he's very good.
I've heard that. I've
Very
heard
good
He
bowler.
could he could have gone pro in bowling.
The PBA.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Oh, I love that
I do too.
video.
That's good
I love
stuff.
it.
That-
Okay. I got to throw this out there. We're talking about the World Series. These are the last 13 at-bats for Shohei Ohtani at Dodger Stadium. The last 13 at-bats. This includes Game 4 against Milwaukee when they eliminated the Brewers, and then last night he had a gazillion at-bats. So, plate appearance number 1, home run. Plate appearance number 2, a walk. Plate appearance number 3, home run. Plate appearance number 4, home run. That's the end of that game. Okay, they eliminated Milwaukee.
3 home run game in which he also pitched in, by the way.
And had 10 strikeouts.
Insane. 2 hits, only 2
All right.
hits.
Then Game 3 last night against the Toronto Blue Jays, again at Dodger Stadium. Double, home run, double, home run, intentional walk, intentional walk, intentional walk, intentional walk, walk. I mean, it's 13 consecutive plate appearances where he reached safely. 5 of those are home runs. And like you said, the pitching part in Game 4 of the NLCS,
Yes.
we need to appreciate what we're watching right now.
He's good.
Because
He's very good.
we may never see anything like this again. I never thought, I thought Babe Ruth, all those stories about Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth, when you had interviews with him when he retired, he was more proud of his pitching stats than his hitting stats. Ohtani's doing it right now in front of us.
Yeah. What's crazy is intentionally walking him to get to 9-time All-Star
I know.
Mookie Betts
It's Barry Bonds stuff.
after
I'm glad you threw that out.
another 9-time All-Star to Freddie Freeman. It's crazy. Those are loose numbers, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's around those 8 or 9. Both of those guys have been All-Stars 8 or 9 times in their career.
That's right.
Jim, I'm glad you threw Barry Bonds' name out, because literally that was my next point when it comes to Ohtani. Why in the world? And you saw it at the end of last night's game a little bit. Got intentionally walked, got thrown out on one heck of a throw to second base.
Yeah,
and
he came off the bag, but he was there actually.
Yeah, he's so explosive. Ohtani literally is a 5-tool all around. It doesn't matter. He's probably the best in every category type of player. But when you look at him as a hitter at the plate, there is no reason, especially on this stage in these type of games, that he shouldn't be getting the Barry Bonds treatment. They should be. And back in the day, they used to have to throw the 4 balls out of the zone to make Barry. They should be holding up 4 every time he's stepping out of the on deck circle. They should be letting him know, just don't even come to the batter's box. Walk over to first.
So you're saying he leads off the game and you put him on?
Put him on. Put him on. Because
he hit a double last night. I know.
He's either going to hit a double or he's going to hit a home run. He's either going to be in scoring position. Put him
insane.
I'd rather put him at first than him hit a home run or him be standing at second or third.
Well, and I can't remember what Braves pitcher said this, but even with bases loaded, sometimes a walk.
Tom Glavine said it.
Yeah, sometimes a walk is, but I think if bases are loaded, I think I might intentionally walk him there too.
I saw it happen, Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
So they were up, the Giants were down 5 runs or 4 runs, whatever. They intentionally walked Barry Bonds to walk in and run. And the next guy made it out. And so the manager looked like a genius.
Yeah,
you know?
one's better than 4.
That's right.
I mean, and one's better than 2 or 3.
He
Like,
should 100% be
And
getting
he's got
Barry
the-
Bonds treatment.
And he's got the power to all fields. He can hit it the opposite way. He can pull it. And he's just I'm just amazed when I watch this guy.
Yeah, I say what I say about him on this show, but I respect what he does. As a fan of the game of baseball, like you nailed it. Like, we need to appreciate this because it's very special.
It's
what
kind of
he's
like when
doing.
we were watching Tiger Woods. Appreciate what you're watching, folks, because we may never see another one like him. And there are always athletes like that come around every so often. And, he's right here in front of us, man. And he's got, gosh, how many years he got left? I mean, he's still somewhat young, middle-aged, I guess, for a baseball player. But
And I think this is a little bit different. We mentioned this the other day on the show, but I felt the same way watching Travis Hunter last year play college football because he was a return guy. He was a receiver. He was a defensive back, which we've seen players play both ways before. It's very rare. But Ohtani's doing that, but at another level because he's the best at what he does. I think Travis Hunter was a good receiver. Was he the best? I don't think so, but he was good. He was really, really good.
I just think he was top 5 in both. I think
Yeah.
Travis Hunter was top 5 in both categories.
Yes.
all right, let me ask you guys a question. Ohtani, the hitter, where does he rank? He's top 5? Would you put him top 5 right now? Top 5 hitter
in all
Major-
of baseball?
Right now, top 5 hitter.
Yeah, I think he's got to be
Or top 10?
1 or 2.
I was about to say who right now can you point to me?
Cal
that-
Raleigh and Aaron Judge are the only 2 guys this past
That have
season
more power.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. All right. What about pitcher? Where would he rank pitcher? Is he top 10, top 5?
He's top 10.
Yeah, this is where he's a dominant pitcher. I don't think he's the best pitcher.
He's
in
not the
baseball,
best pitcher. He's
but
definitely not the best, but he's pretty darn good.
He's got really good stuff. Like, I mean, what was the do we remember the stat of his game 1 where he pitched and hit? It was like 6 innings pitched, 10 Ks.
We're talking about the game 4 against.
Yeah,
but
and
what?
then had
that's,
3 home
Jacob
runs.
was-
That's,
Hey,
that's what we've.
Jim,
no,
Jacob was on his phone when we were talking about
Okay,
that
yeah, we just
literally
talked
2 minutes
about
ago.
I was looking up the whole how many Freddie Freeman, how many All-Stars and that.
But yeah, he had 10 strikeouts, only allowed 2 hits, and hit 3 home runs in the game.
Yeah.
And he walked.
And the walk.
God
Good
almighty.
gravy, man. That's
You couldn't even write it. If even the natural, you remember the
Yeah,
natural,
oh, yeah.
rubber, even they didn't write scripts like this. Like, well, that's ridiculous. Nobody
not
would believe
believable.
that.
Yeah.
Nobody would believe that.
I mean, these are
This
video game
They
numbers.
yeah,
are.
these are fictionary. type
create a
scripts
player.
being-
Yeah, honestly, like you and really, I think we've seen athletes in like football that could have done what Travis Hunter did. I just think it's kind of traditionally the thing to do where you either play offense or you play defense. Like, I think there's been like Boo Carter was trying to
I was
do
about
one.
to say, I think Boo Carter could be doing it right now if he'd not be a goober.
Yeah.
By the way, I said the word fictionary. Is that even a word?
We'll take it.
It's
Yeah.
fictional. I said fictionary. I'm like, that sounds like dictionary.
Approved.
Approved. On the drive, it is approved. But like, I think there's been
Lord.
guys out there that could do it. There's not got like Shohei is doing this in the MLB, and think
in the postseason.
and I want people to think about this too. Like, baseball is a worldwide sport as well. Like, you've got people coming from Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Japan, all over you've got people coming from all over the world to play. Like, football is just really kind of an American thing.
Right.
He is the best out of the world. We're looking at like a Messi type talent. We're looking at like a Ronaldo type talent. But this guy is playing both factions of offense and defense.
By the way, I'm sure you guys saw the video of people in his hometown watching him from some kind of a room or something. By the way, they all have masks on. Is there something going on in Japan that I'm not aware of?
I just think they do that when they're
Okay,
That's kind of
But
always.
I
been a
didn't
thing
know if
there.
maybe there's something that was going on I wasn't aware of. But yeah, all of his people that that he grew up with in that little town there in Japan, and I don't know what time it was there in Japan watching that, but it was crazy, man.
Well, if they made it to 3 a.m., I'm sure that it's probably.
It was the
probably
next day there.
that's about
It
yeah.
was Tuesday. It was Tuesday morning there, probably. I'm
Yeah, it's
assuming.
probably an appropriate time to be watching a game, not 3 a.m. in the morning Eastern time.
Yeah, that was
By the way,
insane.
how late did you make it?
So I watched most of the game, and Jim, you had texted me. You're like, I can't do it. I can't hang in there anymore.
The 14th inning, I'm like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
I was asleep by that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I dozed off on the couch, and my wife woke me up, and I was like, oh, what was the final of the game? The game was still on. So
It's not a replay.
yeah,
This is live.
it was still on, and it was like the 18th inning, and I probably fell back asleep and missed Freddie Freeman's home run by about 5 or 10 minutes, if I had to guess.
It would have been, if it's 3 a.m. Eastern, it would have been 4 p.m. the same day in Japan.
Okay, so it was Tuesday, though, because that's international date line. So it was
Yeah.
Tuesday, 4 o'clock Tuesday, which I guess in Japan right now it's about midnight.
Yeah, what
know,
Jim
Tuesday
said
midnight.
about that international dateline, right?
But whatever.
Jim's the brains of this operation.
It's true. It's, it is what it is.
Major League Baseball coverage here on the Drive brought to you by Mayfield Dairy, huge sponsors of our Atlanta Braves. When they're still active, those guys are with Big Papi, David Ortiz down in Cancun right now, I think enjoying that themselves, just not playing in the World Series like Freddie Freeman is. God, drives me crazy.
Stat of the night, and we talked about this before we came on air. Brad Paisley, we've all heard of him. He's a country singer and everything. There's been 2 18-inning World Series games in history. Brad Paisley sang the national anthem prior to both games. And on top of that, he has sang the national anthem prior to 4 World Series games in his long career. All 4 games went into extra innings. So he'll never be invited to sing the
Yeah, I'm
World
telling
Series
you.
ever again.
That's so wild. Those stats are so neat to keep up with.
But like who's keeping that?
I don't
stat?
know.
Like who is sitting at home thinking like, oh, Brad,
Tim Kirchin, someone like that.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
who thought that? Like who was like, that's one of those crazy internet stats that you're just
Jim Gum.
No. I don't. I go deep. I don't go that deep.
no. In about 15 years, Jim, somebody's going to talk about a World Series that went into overtime, and he's going to say, "Did you know that Brad Paisley?"
Hey, if you say in 15 years, that means I'm still alive. So I'm all for that.
Let's do it. Right here on the Drive, you'll be able to catch Jim 15 years from now.
Hey, whippersnappers.
Hey, Game 4 of the World Series tonight. Dodgers hosting the Toronto Blue Jays pregame 7 p.m. right here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. First pitch 8 o'clock. On the mound for Toronto, Shane Bieber, and on the mound for the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani.
Oh my gosh.
They got to come up with, like, does he have a nickname that I'm just forgetting? Like, they need to call him something like the Freak or something, or the Unicorn, or
He's the best.
I mean,
How
I know
about that?
I know I call him the Gambler.
I know.
If I were him, I'd bet on myself. That's all I'm saying.
Andy.
But-
of course, you knew that was not coming out of that mouth.
I was nice for most of the
were.
segment.
You were.
Hey, real quick, we got to let you know it's Tennessee Valley Federal Credit Union Tennessee Ticket Tuesday. Your chance to win 2 tickets to Tennessee versus Oklahoma this Saturday. And the winner, did we announce that already? Or did they still have a little time? Do you know, Jim?
I do not know. I was so involved in other things.
Yeah.
today.
So also our friends at Hardees are throwing in a couple Tennessee T-shirts and 2 free Hardees combos. So not only do you get to go watch Tennessee and Oklahoma, which we're going to talk about Coach Venables here in a minute, and him getting a little prideful with his team's performance in a game that they lost against Ole Miss last week.
He's going to be part of the Inside the SEC segment.
Okay.
Today.
Oh, this is Brent Venables Day here on the Drive.
Nicknames for Shohei Ohtani, the 2 most common are Showtime, like
There-
SHO
there you go.
time, and then the Unicorn.
I actually like the Showtime. I think you think it's corny. I think it's cool.
It's a playoff prime time. Deion Sanders prime
well,
time.
show
Showtime.
for
It's,
show.
Yeah, and it's SHO. They don't
Yeah.
put the W's to Showtime.
Hey, listen, if we could get Cuba Gooding Jr. to say, "Show me the money."
Yeah, show me the money.
Remember that Jerry
Oh, yeah.
Maguire? One of the
I love
one of
that
the
man.
best sports scenes in Jerry Maguire there. Just
Tom Cruise.
Cuba Gooding Jr. arguing for that contract, just saying, "Show me the money."
Yeah,
That's a good one.
it is good. I haven't seen that movie in years.
So we've talked Jerry Maguire and The Natural. We've hit up 2 sports movies today on the show.
Yeah, I mean, we've still got a lot of time. We could come up with a few more. Hoosiers. Let's talk about Hoosiers.
Digging into the barrel a little bit today here on the Drive. Hey, so I want to jump in real fast before we take our first break. High school football, obviously rough week for our 3 teams here locally last week. But big things happening this Thursday. Bradley at Bearden trying to lock up that 3 seed in the region for the Bears. And then Thursday, Cleveland. Also Thursday, Cleveland versus Farragut, wanting to end their season on a good note in a very winnable game there. And then, of course, Friday, Walker Valley hosts Ray County in a game that is going to decide the region championship.
I'm going to predict that Walker Valley scores more than 2 points.
I think you're
that's
right.
a bold prediction.
I think that's a safe bet.
I hope so.
So all high school football coverage here on The Drive is presented by Food City. Did you guys see the viral hit that's going around Brentwood Academy and Father Ryan? My goodness. So I'm going to just kind of lay it out there. All you got to do, get on the YouTube, the X, the Facebook, any of those things. And Brentwood Academy throws an interception. And during the return, the Father Ryan player is looking upfield, forgets there's a receiver behind him. So as he's running almost sideline to sideline across the field trying to find a lane to get upfield, he gets absolutely crushed from behind. And this DB who got the interception fumbles the football, goes flying. His helmet flies off. I mean, he was absolutely murdered, man, and it's all over the socials.
Yeah, I saw it. It's crazy because like we were talking about the other day, like Braylon Beard's hit Friday night
on the punter
is probably one of the hardest hits I'd seen in person, and then like a day later that one dropped, and I was like, wow, it could have been worse.
Yeah,
it
no
could have
doubt.
been worse.
So
I'll check it out when we go to break.
Yeah, last night, Monday Night Football, going over to the NFL, the Commanders lost to the Chiefs 28-7. Pat Mahomes doing what he does.
And Marcus Mariota, we know why he's not a full-time starter, because he's very limited in what he can do. When they get Jaden Daniels back, the Commanders will be a lot more formidable. But you knew going to that game this was not a good matchup for the Commanders. And the Chiefs, if that was a no-brainer. They were going to win that game.
Yeah, so real quick, we're going to take a break. When we come back, going to dive in a little bit more college football. Some rumors, Jimbo Fisher's name being kind of shopped around out there, being put out there. Maybe some potential him coming back to Florida State at the end of the Norvell era. A lot going on with that conversation. All when we come back right here on The Drive.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your winter with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. Cozy up to the goodness of the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
When competition is fierce, sports injuries happen, and Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Saturday sports clinics are available at our Chattanooga and Cleveland offices from August 23rd through November 8th for the treatment of non-emergency orthopedic injuries like sprains, strains, and fractures. Doors open at 9 a.m., no appointment needed to be seen by our highly trained physicians and clinical staff. Saturday sports clinic dates are subject to change. Check sportmed.com for the latest information. That's sportmed.com.
Not all composite decking is the same. Enjoy life's beautiful moments on an equally beautiful composite deck. Envision's products feature deep, non-repeating grains and distinct colors throughout each pour, offering a truly unique appearance unlike anything else on the market. Learn more and find inspiration for your project at Cleveland Plywood. Cleveland Plywood Company, 2700 20th Street Northeast in Cleveland.
Need a new shop, garage, or other unique space? Explore post-frame building kits from Best Buy Metals. Best Buy Metals kits utilize steel trusses for the ultimate in strength and durability. When you need it to last, call Best Buy Metals. Stop by or visit bestbuymetalroof.com for your custom structure.
This is Alfonso Revizo, General Manager over at Crown in Cleveland, your local Jeep and Ram dealership.
The Fall Fun Festival, sponsored by Mount Olive Ministries, is back at the Tri-State Exhibition Center on Wednesday, October 29th. Join us from 6 to 8:30 p.m. for an evening full of family fun. This year, you can enjoy lots of carnival rides, jump and play in inflatables, stop by the petting zoo, ride the train, and compete in carnival games. Grab dinner and dessert from your favorite food trucks, then top it off with free candy for the kids. And admission is free. Mark your calendars and bring the whole family to the Fall Fun Festival, sponsored by Mount Olive Ministries at the Tri-State Exhibition Center, 6 to 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday, October 29th.
Do you suffer from unsightly leg veins? Are your legs turning brown or swelling? Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Do you have restless legs or leg cramps disturbing your sleep? These symptoms are signs of bad veins. Dr. James Gooden at Milligan Vein offers an office treatment that can make you look and feel better, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Find more information online at milliganvein.com or call Dr. Gooden today at 423-961-5682 and get rid of those bad veins.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Duracell in Cleveland is now hiring mechanical skilled technicians, $22 to $27 per hour. Excellent benefits beginning day one. Medical, dental, vision insurance, paid vacation, holiday pay, 401k, tuition reimbursement, and more. I'm not looking. Apply now at Duracell.com. That's Duracell.com.
So I'm pulling up a photo here, and it was sent to me. It's obviously AI generated, and it's a picture of Lane Kiffin
looking like a recruit.
Yeah, sitting at a table with the hats in front of him, just like a soon-to-be signee.
A five-star.
Yeah, yeah. And it's an LSU hat and an Arkansas hat. That hat has no business being there, and a Penn State hat and a Florida hat.
It would be so funny, and it would be very lame if he asked his team to keep things quiet and like Ole Miss to keep things quiet, and if he stayed with Ole Miss to make that same video of like a recruitment video and him selecting the Ole Miss hat and making it like a thing.
That would be funny.
You got to know that Ole Miss is working behind the scenes, working on a contract extension for him, just like Signetti did at Indiana. If Ole Miss is not, they're nuts.
I'll be honest with you though, like if I'm an Ole Miss fan, it is concerning to me that the contract hasn't been signed already because of the Signetti move, and on top of the fact, like he went on Pat McAfee's show, and he said it's never been about the money to me. Like the money is not what I'm chasing. And so,
and he said Jimmy Sexton hates it when he says that.
He says he hates it. Like, and he says, Jimmy, you handle that stuff. Like, I'm here to coach football. And so, the fact that that hasn't been signed yet means that his options are open. I think they're open to a very select few schools.
It's good to have options. In this world we live in, it's good to have options.
More than ever, am I a believer that he's staying at Ole Miss. I just think he's too happy there. And I feel like he's the type of guy, Like he's kind of found himself. He's found his center. He's involved in the yoga, stretching with the hot young girls and all that stuff. He likes to post about it on his X account. But I think that he's so content now. And at a certain point, isn't rich? Like making $11 million a year or 15? Is it a huge difference for him? I don't think it is for him.
Yeah, because he'll never be able to spend all that money in his lifetime. So
Yeah.
his children are going to be able to live off of it for a long, long time too. Here's the thing, and I've said this before about Ole Miss. How I've said their ceiling was last year. Well, I might have missed that, but at Ole Miss you can actually go 8-4, and they're not going to say, fire that guy, fire him.
He's never going to be under pressure. He is never going to be under pressure there.
If you go 8-4 to LSU, they're calling for your head. You go 8-4 at Penn State, they're calling for your head.
Yeah.
Florida, Ole Miss, I think because of the lack of success they've had the last 30, 40, 50 years, that 8-4 is still doggone. Look, guys, we used to be 4-8. 8-4 is good. Yes, they want to make playoffs, but their expectations at Ole Miss are not to make the playoffs every year. It's to make the playoffs from time to time.
Occasionally, yeah.
For now.
For now, right.
He's changing the standard there.
Right. You're right. You're exactly right.
Like it's crazy how quickly people get used to winning, and like I'm a Georgia fan. Like you look at Georgia fans, like after winning 2 national championships, you've got crazy delusional people getting online saying fire Kirby after a loss to Alabama. Like,
oh yeah, Ohio State fans are worse than that.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable the stuff that's said about Ryan Day, even today when they don't win a game by enough points.
Yeah, like Georgia hadn't even like thought about winning a national championship until Kirby Smart, until he came on board, and it's so quickly how fans that switch just flips. And I think Lane is bringing enough attention to Ole Miss to where that narrative could change.
Unrealistic expectations is it's tough.
One thing that you have to remember about Lane Kiffin is his pedigree, his history as far as being a coach. He left Tennessee, took the big USC job, his dream job, didn't work out. He was chasing the lifestyle, the dollar signs, the next Pete Carroll's what he thought he was going to be, and it just didn't work out. He was kind of set up for failure out there at USC. And then he takes a tumble as a head coach to the point where he has to go be a head coach at Florida Atlantic.
Yep.
And then he's on staff with Nick Saban, trying to get his name back out there to get a decent job. He wasn't trying to land USC or Texas. He wanted to get a decent job. And Ole Miss took a chance on him, a guy that had failed and then went to a smaller school in a tough recruiting state where you've got 3, really now 4 big-time universities there soaking up a lot of talent along with the rest of the country, and he was able to be successful at Florida Atlantic as a head coach. And then Nick Saban said, you know what, let's come on, be my coordinator, and we'll get your name out there, because if you coach under Nick Saban, you're getting a job somewhere. And I think he feels indebted to Ole Miss. I think he's so happy that things have worked out for him. Any interview you watch, like you watch these podcasts he comes on where you get to really like sit and listen to him talk for a half hour or so, and you hear who he is and how much he's changed. I think it's going to take an act of God to get him to leave Ole Miss at this point.
So this is completely sidetracking the conversation. I'm sorry, but do you count him under Coach Saban's tree? I don't think I can.
A little bit.
I feel like it was a rehab stint.
A rehab.
It was.
That's what I was supposed to say.
It
More
was.
of a rehab than it was a
the dude.
learn from the boss.
But like I said, that was to kind of help clean up the image a little bit to get his name back out there.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with that.
And I feel like Nick Saban did that a couple times with a couple different people.
I mean, he did it with Sarkisian.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And so, like, but I don't know that I can count. Like, I understand that he coached under him, but, like, Kirby Smart is like a Nick Saban product. Like, he was at LSU with
young,
long
up-and-coming assistant.
Like, he
Will
was,
Muschamp.
Yeah.
Like long-term guys.
Those type of guys. Like, Lane was Tennessee's coach, USC's coach. Didn't he coach the Raiders?
He did.
He
coached
did.
the Raiders.
And so,
And Al Davis and him did not see eye to eye at all.
we're talking about a guy that, like, had been the head guy multiple different times. Like, I just that one doesn't. I feel like he was mentored by Nick Saban, but he doesn't fall under the coaching.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Well, if you think that he didn't learn something from Nick Saban, though.
He did.
Oh, no, he absolutely did.
So I think you've got to give him a twig on the tree. I mean, for me anyway, that was a pivotal point in his career that got him this Ole Miss job.
Have you guys ever seen the video of Lane Kiffin's introductory press conference at Tennessee? When he says, he's talking about, he goes, and I just caught Urban Meyer in a recruiting violation when he was at Florida, and he said, and he was wrong.
Yeah.
And he was so immature back then. He's matured. I think he appreciates things now where he took it for granted. He was a hot shot who had a big mouth and didn't know when to not say stuff, and it got him in a lot of trouble. And I think he's learned a lesson from that. And I think he learned that lesson from Nick Saban.
He was immature in his departure from Tennessee as well, not just when he got there, the way he left. Because I think
they hated him.
You talk about Nick Saban all the time. He been quoted a lot saying I never should have left LSU. Should have just stayed at LSU. What I could have done there, we could have won 17 titles. He truly believes that. What Lane Kiffin could have done at Tennessee. Sorry, Vol fans, not trying to upset you. The way they had that rolling up there under him, there was so much momentum, so much energy behind him as the head coach, Monty Kiffin, his dad, defensive coordinator, the staff that he put together was an NFL staff coaching at college. It truly was, and I think he realizes, man, that's the one I should have. I almost wonder if there is a place that he would go. Let's say that Josh Heupel takes the Oklahoma job when Venables gets fired. I think that's a job. I think that's a job now. Would Tennessee be willing to offer it?
Absolutely.
Maybe. The way that you look at how much of a hot commodity Lane Kiffin is right now, Tennessee might say, hey, would you want to come back? And he might say, hey, let's right this wrong.
Oklahoma can pay just as much as Tennessee can.
And I'm not saying Josh Heupel's going anywhere.
No, I'm just saying, but if Oklahoma made a run at Josh Heupel and Tennessee said, we'll match it, Oklahoma would be like, okay, we'll up the ante again. And I'm telling you, I've said this, y'all, I believe a lot of head coaches around this country getting raises as a result of all these openings. I really do.
Hey, can we talk about Kiffin and Venables?
Yeah,
for a second?
I was about to just sidetrack it and say, like, I don't know why Venables is afraid for his job because he's got a better team than Ole Miss.
Yeah, Coach Venables, head coach at Oklahoma, was quoted, "We were the better team in a game that they lost by 8 points to Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss
At home.
At Oklahoma.
Yeah, you lost that game at home, and you're trying, like, by 8. And really, if you watch that's a game that I watched. That was one of the games I watched Saturday. Like, Ole Miss looked in charge of it pretty much.
They did.
The whole time.
I mean, listen, we've watched a lot of football. When the Titans lost to Arizona, I was convinced Arizona was a better team, but Arizona beat themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Ole Miss looked like a better team than Oklahoma. For Venables to say that,
Lane
I'm
Kiffin,
like, dude, you were looking at it from crimson glasses.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin trolled him after the fact too, and was like, man, what a hot take!" Like, and he even kind of went back in the history books and talked about, well, maybe Clemson was better on this day when they got beat by Alabama. Like, he went into it and made a joke out of it, but. Venables has got to be careful up there at Oklahoma because he's another guy with one of those teetering jobs. Another one, Mike Norvell. It came out last Wednesday that the athletic department said that they're sticking with Norvell. Things will be reassessed at the end of the year. They want to do everything they can to win right now. They don't want it to blow up like it did last year when every game Florida State was stepping on the field. Everyone was like, oh, gosh, what's going to happen tonight? And so I think they're delaying the inevitable. I do think Norvell's going to be one of the next chips. And there's a lot of momentum behind this Jimbo Fisher talk coming back to Florida State because he still lives there, still has a house there, and was basically crying over it on an interview this past weekend about how he misses being at Florida State. So I'm going to paint a scenario for you. Jameis Winston, now a backup quarterback in the NFL, who might get some opportunities over the next year or two to potentially be a starter or hang around as a backup. I don't know what's going to happen with his NFL career. But just picture this. Heisman Trophy winner Jameis Winston comes back to his alma mater with Jimbo Fisher pulling a Bobby Petrino, coming back, taking back over. Jameis Winston is either your quarterback coach or your team chaplain or your crab leg coordinator.
Yeah, right.
Whatever you want to go with.
Yeah.
Like, things could get really interesting with all this stuff, and that's picking up a lot of momentum, that Jimbo Fisher talk down in Tallahassee.
And that's a good job, y'all. I know that, we talk about all these other jobs out there. Florida State's a plum job. I think it's a really good – and Norvell, to me, he's going to lose his job at some point. They're 3-4.
He can't keep doing what he's doing.
They're the win over Alabama, and you can only, use that so much.
I'll be
They're
honest.
3-4.
I think that win almost hurt them
I
more than
agree.
it helped them because fans thought, "Oh, we're back. We're back to normal. Last year was a fluke." And now you're sitting at 3-4, and fans have you right back on the hot seat.
Well, you go on, you lose at Stanford 2 weeks ago, and then you lose to Virginia. Squirrel White gets basically disappeared in the crowd of Virginia fans. No one knows where Squirrel White is now.
Yeah, that was wild.
I know he's not in Knoxville anymore.
Nope.
He's probably regretting that decision.
With that wide receiver room so deep, I don't know how much playing time he'd get up in Knoxville
He
right now.
probably not would not be getting the same paycheck he got down at Tallahassee as well.
That's probably a good, accurate statement right there for sure.
But, hey, with that, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Walker Valley. It is Tuesday, right? Yeah, it is.
Last I looked.
It is. So, Walker Valley head football coach Drew Akins will join the show when we come back right here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
This is John Davis, the trading man at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway. Is your old car really scary? Are you frightened about how much you owe? Don't be afraid. We'll take any trade. Let your scary old car rust in peace. Kia Cleveland will pay you up to $7,000 over Kelley Blue Book market value for your current vehicle, running or not. That's right, up to $7,000 for any trade in any condition, and we'll buy your car for cash, even if you don't buy a car from us. Are you haunted by bad credit? Don't sweat it. Our lenders will say yes to you and yes to your situation. Don't be frightened by how much you owe on your old car. At Kia of Cleveland, we can get you out. Come see me, John Davis, at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where trading your car is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Negative trade equity financed in new loan, subject to lender approval, expires month end.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your winter with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. Cozy up to the goodness of the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
When competition is fierce, sports injuries happen, and Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Saturday sports clinics are available at our Chattanooga and Cleveland offices from August 23rd through November 8th for the treatment of non-emergency orthopedic injuries like sprains, strains, and fractures. Doors open at 9 a.m., no appointment needed to be seen by our highly trained physicians and clinical staff. Saturday sports clinic dates are subject to change. Check sportmed.com for the latest information. That's sportmed.com.
The absolute best deals are located at Deal Days. Everything in this store is $7 on Saturday and Sunday, $5 on Monday, $3 on Tuesday, and $1 on Wednesday. Located next to Planet Fitness on APD 40. Other locations are in Chatsworth, Calhoun, and Cartersville. That's Deal Days.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Cleveland, the all-new Select Flooring and Remodeling is now open at 5555 North Lee Highway. We carry the top flooring brands you know and trust: Mohawk, Shaw, Engineered Floors, and United Weavers. We also specialize in home remodeling and roofing, delivering quality you can count on. Take advantage of 24 months interest-free credit. Come see us Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 2. Call us today at 423-889-3007. That's Select Flooring and Remodeling, 5555 North Lee Highway, Cleveland. From the floors to the roof, we've got you covered.
For the past quarter century, Mix 104.1 has been your home for UT Vols football. That's something to celebrate. Vol 25 is here. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 and USS are giving you a chance to win tickets to all of the Tennessee road games this season. Each Monday before a road game, you can register to win tickets to that Saturday's Vols game. Vol 25 is brought to you by USS. Visit USSTN.com/Chattanooga. For more information, check out our ESPN Cleveland 101.3 socials on Facebook and Instagram.
Imagine this, handheld pizza puffs filled with mozzarella cheese and pizza sauce, topped with buttery garlic drizzle, with either 3 herbs or pepperonis. Well, it's a reality. Little Caesar's Crazy Puffs. Pick them up at 3 locations, Paul Huff, Keith Street, or McGrady Drive, or order online.
Cleveland Tire Center, locally owned and operated for over 45 years. Cleveland Tire, your one-stop auto care shop in Cleveland. North Lee Highway, where the name says it all.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. Excited to be here with everybody today. Andy Morris here along with Jim Gum and Jacob Mason. And with that, it is Tuesday, so you know what that means. Right now it's 5:45. We've got Walker Valley head football coach Drew Akins on The Drive. Coach, how's it going, man?
Hey, doing great, guys. How are y'all?
Doing good. Spent a lot of time talking about Lane Kiffin and your Ole Miss Rebels. Coach, we know you're a big Ole Miss guy.
Yeah, I told y'all last week, and I think one of the most consequential games in Lane Kiffin's tenure last Saturday, and coming out on top. I think that makes it real tough for him to end up anywhere but Ole Miss. When you look at the schedule with the playoffs, and if Ole Miss does what it should do, and double-digit favorites probably the last 4 games. If they do what they should do, they'll be 11-1 in the playoffs. It makes it tough to go take him because, you're going into the end of December, January. So really excited to get the win and hopefully hang on to what I think is one of the best fits for a coach in the SEC.
All right, Coach, someone's going to ask you. I didn't see the game. What the heck happened last Friday night, man? I couldn't believe the score when I saw it. I'm like, that can't be right. In your estimation, what happened?
It's actually very simple. We played a really good football team. First and foremost, Waukegan County is, not underrated. I think they're very highly rated, and a team that went to the semifinals last year and in their division. And when we had there's some weird stuff leading up to it with travel woes. But listen, anything like that's just an excuse. We got inside the red zone 5 times and didn't score any points. And when you get inside the red zone 5 times and don't score any points, it makes for a difficult night. Our defense played outstanding. Our defense gave us a great opportunity over and over and over. We just didn't execute. We didn't call a good enough game in the red zone. And then when we did make good calls, we didn't execute well enough in the red zone. And it comes down to being able to run the football. They had a couple guys that were really good in run stopping. And they made plays. They stopped us twice on 4th and 1, which very rarely has happened in our tenure here. And honestly, it's just a good football game, a good defensive battle, and they made one play throughout the night, and we couldn't break through. So not a whole lot to it other than just not being able to run the football, and defense did such a great job throughout the night. I was really disappointed for our defense because they played a game that deserved to win.
Yeah, I was going to say the defense definitely was a bright spot. And you had some new faces out there rotating in and out. Satterfield had a really good night. Kind of talk about some of the new guys that stepped in on Friday night and played.
Yeah, Brandon Satterfield started for us. Miles Hawk is out right now with the shoulder deal that we're trying to get figured out. But Brandon played well. and Zach Raines came in and subbed for him, and he played extremely well throughout the night. So Zach is definitely a physical body, physical presence there as a sophomore. Satterfield's played a lot of football for us through Monday nights and throughout practice, and he's always been a kid that we expected to make an impact. And he's getting his opportunity at this point, and like you said, played really well throughout the night. But we had a lot of guys that shined on the defensive side of the ball. Braylon Beard played one of the best games that you'll ever see from a high school kid. He went 11 solo tackles, 7 assists, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. So Braylon Beard's line is
also an attempted murder charge as well.
Yeah,
on the punter.
He got a good lick on the punter as well. So he played well. Tyler Goldman played well throughout the night. Lane Ferris played well. Jonathan West played well. When you hold a team like that, that's scoring 35 to 40 points a game, you hold them to 7. A lot of guys got to play well, and I thought we did across the board defensively.
Yeah, it was definitely a solid defensive effort from both teams, and with the exception of one play, which I had the benefit of being able to look at some film with you today. The one play that got them their lone score of the game, a long touchdown run by that big number 22 for Sequatchie County, which on that play they jumped. It's on video. They jumped pre-snap. And we see you guys on the sideline freaking out, trying to get the officials to call it. The young man moved, and unfortunately, I guess you don't always get those calls when you're on the road like that.
Yeah, and again, I'd love to use that as an excuse, and I would love to be sitting here talking about a 2-0 win. I'd still be upset with our offense, but it would be better to be upset after a win, even with it being 2-0. But you can't rely on those things. You can't leave it up to anybody but yourself. And when you take it out of your hands, then you can't be upset with the result. So, like I said, if we get inside the red zone 5 times, you got to find a way to put some points on the board. And, there's been some questions, and rightfully so, about kicking field goals. But, when we get 4th and 1, when you look at our tenure here, we're an aggressive coaching staff, and when we get 4th and 1, we're going to go for it wherever we are on the field. Honestly, last year against Bradley, we were on the minus 25-yard line at 4th and 1 and went for it, just because that's a staple in our program. We believe in being aggressive in those situations, and they made some plays. Because we didn't execute as perfectly as we could have executed. Their kid made some plays, and you go to film and you try to correct those things. But ultimately, if it's 4th and 1, I'm going to put the ball in our guys' hands and expect us to go make those plays.
Yeah, Coach, and this is something that, as I've talked with people, and they've kind of asked me, kind of like Jim, like, what happened? We're so used to seeing like these 50-point games, these 60-point games, this explosion of offense. A lot of credit goes to that Sequatchie County defense, because it was truly a defensive battle. But one thing that I've told everybody that I've had this conversation with is, listen, that's the week you want it to happen, because you're going to be a little bit more alert for this region championship game coming up this Friday against Ray County. You're going to be a little bit more on guard and feeling like you've got something to prove when you're 16, 17-year-old kid, and you've got people saying, well, maybe those guys aren't as good as they were, as we thought they were. I don't know how everybody responds to that, but I know how I respond to it. I know how we've seen you, your coaching staff, your players respond to that. It kind of gives you a little chip on your shoulder and gives you a little something to prove.
Yeah, a couple things throughout that conversation. It definitely was a good team we played. Outstanding team, honestly. I told the coaching staff, their coaching staff, when I got there before the game, that it was. I really enjoyed watching them on film, because they just played the game the right way. They play incredibly hard and played with great effort, and the game rewards playing that way. it reminds me a little bit of the loss that we had at East Hamilton 2 years ago, where we dropped East Hamilton at East Hamilton and then went on a little run afterwards to get to the semifinals. But that game was a wake-up call for us that, we've got to make sure that we're executing things that are called. If you go back and look at that game against East Hamilton, there were some plays there that we didn't execute. And because of that, it did focus us in to go execute plays better. It's frustrating it happening after a loss, but like you said, it doesn't change anything moving forward. All it does is change, from a 8-1 record to a 7-2 record. But everything that we want is still here, right here in front of us, and we got a chance on Friday night to go take that opportunity and go accomplish one of the goals that we set all the way back in January. So, we're excited to be able to get back on the field and in the environment of a region championship and have the opportunity to go win a ball game that kind of sets up the playoffs in a certain way where we can be really successful.
Coach, speaking of Friday night, kind of tell our listeners what we can expect from Ray County.
Ray County is an outstanding football team. If anybody knows Taylor Harvey through his tenure here as the defensive coordinator, you're going to get a hard-nosed, tough, physical football team. He instilled that in our defense for several years, and he's done the same thing there. They run power counter and mostly power, and they do it very well. They got a running back that's an outstanding player. He's a 3-year starter there, but he is a really good blend of a physical runner, but also has the ability to outrun you when he gets in the open field. He has been a great player for them for a long time. I think they've done a great job at quarterback, putting that kid in situations where he can be successful. They do a great job of calling the game to use his athleticism to really make plays on the edge in the run game. When you talk about, we talked about last week, the quarterback plus run is a big weapon for him and a big weapon for them. Defensively, they fly to the football. They play physical. They're trying to stop run. That's their number one goal, is stop run. If they can stop run and get you into passing situations, they do a great job of coverage on the back end. They have a safety, number 11, that has 6 interceptions on the year, and he's just playing middle field safety, playing center field and reading the quarterback and breaking on the football. So they're an outstanding football team. They're 8-1 for a reason, and we got a tough challenge ahead of us if we want to go finish the way we want to finish.
Yeah, you mentioned their record 8-1. Their lone loss to East Hamilton by a score of 56-33, a team that you guys went down to East Hamilton and beat on a last-second, 0-second field goal. So all the hype, all the energy, the resume for this game is an extensive one. I know everybody's excited to get out there to Walker Valley and to the MAC to witness a potential another region championship for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and I heard that Andy's passing out candy for Halloween, so just be expecting that.
Yeah, we do have a bunch of groups that are going to have candy to pass out to the kids as they come in. So we're excited to be able to host a Halloween area for the kids. But ultimately, it's always fun playing football here on a Friday night. But there is obviously a little added extra excitement with the stakes that will be on this game. So should be a great night. Should be a great atmosphere, as it always is here.
Well, Coach, we look forward to next Tuesday to speak with you again as you get set for a playoff game. Hopefully we get to talk about a region championship for you guys as well.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate all y'all do, as always. And about to go out here, we got our 5U and 7U little Mustangs that are going to play in the championship on Saturday. So they're out here practicing. It's been a lot of fun, and the youth league coming to a close has been a really fulfilling season for those kids, and for me as the leader of Walker Valley football. It's been fun to watch. So I'm going to go out here and hug these boys and tell them good luck, and hopefully they can bring a championship back on Saturday as well.
Good stuff, Coach. We appreciate you taking the time to call the show today.
All right, guys. We'll talk to y'all next week.
All right, see you later. Once again, Walker Valley head football coach Drew Akins. Always good stuff from Coach Akins. Hey, listen, I want to give a shout-out to Jim because he said what a lot of us were thinking at what happened, because we're used to a very different score result, very different outcome for Walker Valley football games this year, and that was kind of, I know Jake and I felt this way looking at that McMinn score with Ray County, like what is going on? And a lot of people felt the same way.
Listen, I never want to attack a guest, and I don't think that came across as attack, but I just wanted to know what the heck happened. As someone that didn't get to watch the game, I was up there watching Cleveland and Hardin Valley. I was like shocked. When I told you guys when I first saw the score, I thought, and it said an F final. I'm like, that can't be final. It's probably third quarter. It's a misprint or something. And it wasn't. I was like, I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. A team that had that much offensive power, not scoring an offensive point.
Yeah, it's just odd when you go, 66 points the week before or something like that. Lenore said you hang 53 on McMinn. I get it. I mean, as somebody that you just had to be there and watch the game like that. The defensive line. They were some.
They
dudes.
dominated.
Sometimes it's good to be humbled to where you can get that grit back, and I think that's what Coach Akins and this Mustang football team are getting ready to do with Ray County this weekend. So going to continue to talk to our football coaches. We're going to have Damon Floyd on tomorrow. They play on Thursday, so bumping him up a day. Wednesday show, having Damon Floyd on to talk Bradley Central football and the Bears trying to lock up that number 3 spot going into the playoffs in 6A. So with that, for Jim, Jacob, I'm Andy. Have a great day, everybody.
It's time for a Don Ledford of Cleveland traffic update on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Don Ledford Chevrolet Buick GMC, located on North Lee Highway in Cleveland. Or visit donledford.com for details. Don Ledford, where we say yes. It's on-time traffic with Commander Chuck.
Good afternoon. A little bit of stop and go going on right now. Bonnie Oaks at Jersey Pike. It's picked up even more. 153 back across the dam. All that traffic trying to get back up into Hickson area. Heavy now, right on schedule northbound. 75 at times over here up by Shallowford Road in this construction zone. Southbound 75 can be a little bit busy at times here passing 153. Happy Hymn Pharmacy now at their new location out on Cummings Highway in Lookout Valley next to Walmart. Happy Hymn Pharmacy. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center, here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441.
Later today will be dry and overcast with highs of around 59. Tonight, lows dropping into the upper 40s with rain after 3 a.m. And for your Wednesday, it'll be breezy, rainy, and cool with highs in the 50s. For the latest, download the Local 3 weather app. I'm Storm Alert meteorologist Clay Smith.
Your current Milligan Vane temperature is 57 degrees. MilliganVane.com.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your winter with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. Cozy up to the goodness of the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
When competition is fierce, sports injuries happen, and Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Saturday sports clinics are available at our Chattanooga and